So this lesson is on the affirmative informal commands. It's called do it. And whenever I teach the affirmative informal commands in Spanish, out comes my command finger. So that's what the visual is there about. It's my command finger. The learning objectives are that you will be able to define what an affirmative informal command is, and I also often call them AIC. Form the AIC in Spanish, and identify the irregular verbs in the AIC form. So what is an affirmative informal command? Basically, you're telling somebody to do something. It's a command. Do something. The informal part is that you have to be speaking to somebody informally. In other words, somebody that you would be referring to in the to form, not in the usted form, because the usted form would take a different form in Spanish. And the last part, the affirmative part, is that you have to be telling somebody to do it, not do it, not don't do it. So it has to be the affirmative, do this. The don't do this in Spanish takes a different form. That's why we have to break it down. Affirmative, informal command. So here's how to do it. It's very simple. You could take the to form of the verb and drop the S at the end. But if you do that, you'll realize you're just taking the third person singular form, or the el, usted form of the verb. Like this. If you want to tell somebody, speak, like your dog, or I might tell my students, speak Spanish. The verb is hablar, and the third person form of the verb, or the el, usted form of the verb, is habla. So if you're commanding somebody to speak, habla, or habla español. See, every time I do it, my little finger pops out. I can't help it. If you want to tell somebody clean, like clean your room, limpiar is the verb, and the third person form of the verb is limpia. Limpia tu cuarto. If you want to tell somebody eat your vegetables. Comer is the verb. Come tus vegetales. Eat them up. Or sleep. Now, sleep is an example of a verb in Spanish that stem changes. If you want to make the command, or the AIC, you have to still take the stem change. So, dormir is your verb. Duerme, go to sleep. Now, what's the difference between telling somebody do something or saying something in the third person form? For example, ella habla español, she speaks Spanish, or speak Spanish. Habla español. Well, it's the same form of the verb, so really you just need to pay attention to the context. What's the context it's being used in? Is it a statement? She speaks Spanish. Or is it a command? Speak Spanish. Here are some verbs that are irregular in the AIC form. Decir becomes di. So if you want to tell somebody, say it, or tell me, you use di. Hacer becomes haz. Make your bed. Haz tu cama. Do your homework. Haz tu tarea. Salir, to leave or to go out, becomes sal. Ir becomes ve. Poner is pon. Ser is se, which should look familiar. That's the yo form of saber. And again, you have to use the context that it's being used in to know the difference. If you want to tell somebody, be good, sé bueno. Tener becomes ten. Like if you want to tell somebody, have this, ten, take this. And venir, come, ven acá, come here. So time to check yourself. This was a quick and simple lesson on affirmative informal commands. Do you know what it is? What is an affirmative informal command? Do you know how to form them in Spanish? And can you identify the irregulars in Spanish? Muy bien. Estudia y trabaja.